Dueling Grounds, a new game on Roblox, rose my heart as a player who likes mechanics games similar to Untitled Boxing Game, Saber Showdown, and even games outside of Roblox just like Sekiro, Devil May Cry, and the list goes on and on and on. But when I joined the game out of curiosity, I got absolutely cooked by someone with 3 wins in total, by the way. So in this video, I will show you core mechanics in Dueling Grounds to improve your gameplay and finally beat these spammers and runners. Note that I'm not a professional player myself. This video is mainly targeted to beginner and intermediate players to just provide information I wish the tutorial taught me or I would have known before. To make it easier to understand, I will mention 2 kinds of mechanics. Soft mechanics, which are mechanics that not necessarily directly help you in game, but contribute to your improvement, followed by hard mechanics, which are essentially the practical mechanics you can execute in game. See soft mechanics like a preparation or practice for the hard mechanics. For example, if a soft mechanic is familiarize yourself with the controls, a followed hard mechanic would be something like press the dodge button when an enemy tries to hit you. Yes, it's oversimplified, but to just give you an idea. Speaking of oversimplification, the reason why I'm doing this tutorial in the first place is because the tutorials of this game I saw so far sent shivers down my spine. It was mostly the quick 3 minutes tutorial in-game at the beginning, stretched to 10 minutes and emphasizing using certain moves which are supposedly super good that will make you absolutely get destroyed by a low intermediate player. Anyways, let's get back to the video. Starting off with the first soft mechanic, movement and positioning. Movement and positioning in this game is an extremely important mechanic overlooked by many players. Our brains usually just move like how it feels, right, rather than actively choosing where and when to dodge or move to effectively make plays. What I would recommend is to shift your focus in games on your movement instead of winning the game. Look how far do the dodges in the 4 directions go? How fast are they? How far and high the jump goes? Just so you familiarize yourself with your own movement. Make sure to always keep an eye on the distance between you and your enemy while doing so. It doesn't matter if you lose or get hit a lot, eventually you will learn a lot on how to move tactically rather than just randomly by gut feelings. Now the hard mechanic following the soft mechanic would be once you practice moving and positioning yourself right, you will find yourself in situations where the enemy misses their attacks entirely, which are called whiffs in gaming. These whiffs are an opportunity for you to gain an advantage during the battle, depending on what you decide to do after. But just creating these openings is already a whole skill itself and definitely takes some practice to be good at. If you manage to create these kinds of openings consistently, then you most likely always have the upper hand and the chance of winning battles increases drastically. Second soft mechanic, study animation and hitboxes. Yes, I know this sounds probably boring and exhausting at first, but this is the key part that made me better at the game almost instantly, especially combined with the previous mentioned mechanic with creating openings. While playing games or just attacking out in the open, focused on the animations and their respective hitboxes. Some animations are intentionally delayed to throw you off. Look at light attacks versus heavy attacks and how they string with each other at what speed. Your main concern should be the hitboxes and when they hit you with the animation rather than the animation itself, because it can be misleading sometimes. Once you know how to move and position yourself to the enemy while also knowing the animation and hitboxes while creating openings, we can go over to probably the most important mechanic in the whole game, which is punishing. Now keep in mind, with punishing I mean punishing literally every move the player does. From just attacking to missing attacks, to dodging or jumping, having an unfavorable position. Punishing the player is you reacting fast enough or even predicting any play from your opponent where you execute a counterplay. Now the most obvious punishing move is parrying, where you block at the right time as you are getting hit to deplete a little bit of your opponent's block stamina. Now, while this move is also being taught by the quick tutorial in game and seems like a major part of the game, it actually quite isn't. yes, parrying attacks is super effective against spammers, and while parrying every move of your enemy makes you look like a samurai god, it doesn't actually find that much appearance in the longer run, because at some point the skill ceiling is so high that you and your opponent know how to parry every move of each other, so your opponent won't just go straight to your face and try to simply hit you, hoping they get a few hits on you and vice versa. That's where the second punishment move besides parry, the whiff punishing, comes into play. Knowing how to move and position yourself while also knowing animation and hitboxes allow you to create openings to then whiff punish your opponents. Once you create an opening, you can do one of the following executions based on the situation given. The first option is the most safe one, which is just light attack until your opponent parries or dodges, which usually always takes for me around 1, maybe 2 if you're lucky. Second option would be risky but worth it, would be just to delay a heavy attack. So you just quickly wait and then you do a heavy attack, which is risky but it pays off. The third option is not recommended but viable, would be to just do a jump attack if you feel very pressured. But keep in mind that that move should be one of the last resorts if you don't find yourself using any of the other options. And the fourth option is kind of depending on the enemy and their playstyle, is to do nothing and see how your enemy reacts to it so you can counter react. Usually when you create an opening is that your opponents thinks that you immediately react to it, but if you just do nothing and let the opponent react, then you can counter react to it, which can be super effective and also help me many times. Now, besides parrying and whiff punishing, there's also frame punishing, which is simply using an attack with faster input to hit ratio and less end lag to hit your opponent first, even when they attack before you. The main example being you using light attack very shortly after your opponent uses a heavy attack to interrupt it. Keep in mind that it excludes Naginata. Some weapons have some special abilities. It phases through your light attacks and hits you no matter what you do. The last option to punish a player is with faking and baiting. What that means is you simply whiff on purpose or simply fake an attack so that you bait your opponent into either thinking they can whiff punish or parry punish you, but you have a counterplay already in mind. So it's basically punishing the opponent for trying to punish you, if that makes sense. The famous one, which I also generally recommend, is the fake jump attack. So your opponent plots thinking that you will do a jump attack, but since you don't hit them and they didn't parry, they automatically let go of the block button, which makes them vulnerable for a short period, of which you then can respond with the 4 options mentioned previously, obviously the main one being just to do a few light attacks. Make sure to always switch it up so you are unpredictable, since that's the key of literally every fighting game, including this one, since a predictable player is by far the easiest opponent to play and win against. Now, after all of this input, you should have a very good foundation of the core mechanics of the game and how to improve so that you can finally beat people in battles. But before I end the video, I will be leaving some short personal tips and tricks which may help you improve even more at slashing your enemies up. Identify your opponent's playstyle and adjust accordingly. Yes, every player in this world has a playstyle they favor over others. But if you really want to improve in the game, then you should be able to play all styles at any given time. This allows you for beating as much people as possible and make you a very dangerous fighter. Knowing when to play aggressively, passive-aggressively and defensively, depending on your opponent's current playstyle or play in general, is crucial and will separate you from the average fighter in this game. Use surprise attacks, I like to call them slop attacks, when you feel like you are stuck and everything you try just doesn't land and you have a strong feeling your enemy is just better and more experienced than you. An example could be pre-attacking and instead of all of the previous excellent movement and punishing, just swing through. See it like this. If you and your enemy are both following the same principle and are doing perfect plays, then that one sloppy attack out of nowhere might be the key to throw your opponent completely off guard and make them confused. I can't tell you how many times that has helped me during battles, even though it may not be considered as an efficient and a good play. Your block stamina meter is the heart of your player. Always keep an eye on it and make sure to utilize movement and back off to replenish it in dangerous situations. Do not panic when you're low health or your block meter is low, as it will lead you to making bad decisions. Also, your mindset in this game shouldn't be, I'm trying to win 2 or 3 rounds against my enemy to win. Every play till a block break into critical strike is considered a battle. So basically, you have many mini battles compressed into a round of 2 or 3 battles. This mindset will help you raise your awareness about the block meter and will just make you a better fighter in general. The last point would be, as of mid-November 2025, Naginata is by far the best weapon to use in-game, besides all of the preferences of playstyles. Yet, my personal recommendation is the katana, since it's a pretty good all-rounding weapon and can be utilized both offensively and defensively. Yes, the Naginata has overpowered range, all the daggers have crazy fast OP light attacks, but what many people forget is using and even abusing cheap gimmicks won't make you a better player. They give you a false sense of your own personal skill assessment, and that will hurt you or even completely hinder you to improve in the game when that one specific move just works. Use the katana first and switch to other weapons later down the line. So that would be it for my in-depth tutorial on how to improve in Dueling Grounds. If you got any questions or additional mechanics on your mind, make sure to drop them in the comments and leave a like if this video helped you out. Good luck practicing and see you in the next video. Bye guys.